So, real talk, what is up with Tingyun? Is she really who she says she is? Is she hiding something? Why does she just seem so suspicious? And why the hell does she keep dying? So it's been a recurring theory among the Honkai Star Rail community that Tingyun may not be as protagonist adjacent as we think she is. Given where we are in the story now, there are a number of red flags we could surmise from our interactions with her. Before we theorize what Tingyun could be, let's first establish who Tingyun is. Aside from being recognized as the Bennett of Honkai Star Rail, Tingyun is a silver-tongued Foxian girl who is currently the head of the Whistling Flames, a merchant guild officially approved by the Skyfaring Commission, of which Yukong is the leader. When we first met Tingyun after rescuing her at the Lao Fu, what immediately came to mind after speaking to her for the first time was...
My name is Tingyun. I'm the ambassador for the Lao Fu Skyfaring Commission Merchant Guild. May I venture to know the illustrious names of my heroes?
This girl was throwing signs down hard. She was throwing them down hard. Yeah.
But seriously, Tingyun has a way with words. Her expressions and tone of her voice are very reminiscent of how a typical politician butters you up quite extensively to get you to trust them. So, knowing all this, is Tingyun really sus? Or is she just a regular Foxian girl? Well, let's take a look at the evidence. Before we start though, just a reminder, these are all just theories. Some you may agree with, and some you may think is just plain dumb. Please don't hate me. Let's start off with something simple, her voice and demeanor. As we know from anime, characters who wear a smile most of the time and have a commanding charisma about them usually are hiding something, be it a big secret or their true personality. And since Honkai Star Rail is a game heavily influenced by anime, it isn't too far-fetched to think that they may lean into this common trope. But of course, this could just be me reading way too much into it. This is her job after all. Next, we have Tingyun's fear of death. During the story, Tingyun has mentioned multiple times about the short lifespans of her race, and the extra precautions she takes to stay on the safe side.
Every time I head out, I leave a letter behind and lock it in the drawers of my shop. If I come back, then I'll burn it later. If I don't, then it'll be something for others to remember me by.
So while this may not really mean anything, when you combine this with the next evidence, Tingyun's short lifespan, then we may have something here. The people of the Lao Fu are known to have considerably long lifespans. Well, more like they're immortal, except for the Foxians who only have around 300 to 400 year lifespans. While that may still be a lot when compared to humanity, it is quite unnerving to know that your life is finite, while your neighbors get to live forever. This fact was emphasized by Tingyun during a conversation we had with her when she expressed a strong interest in the fruit of abundance.
How did it grow all of a sudden?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Even the long-lived might not witness something like this in their lifetime. I'm so lucky.
And since Madame Yukong actually wishes for Tingyun to one day become the head of the Skyfaring Commission, she may want to live long enough to reach that goal. But at the moment, she may want more time to grow and improve herself since she doesn't really feel like she deserves that role right now.
Whether it's driving star skiffs or leading the Skyfaring Commission, Madame Yukong is always present in the Xianzhou's course. I'm still lacking in my skills as a helmswoman.
So now we're entering the totally crazy, unlikely theories. Based from minor Honkai Star Rail leaks, there is a curious detail about the next boss opponent that we'll encounter. So if you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to skip over to the timecode below. Okay, so we're good now? The Lord Ravager Phanthelia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So I won't go into too much detail on who she is or what she represents. The only details that I want to point out is her design aesthetic. Other than their clothing, which looks like a variation of the Changsung, Phanthelia's weapon of choice is a fan, and Tingyun's weapon of choice is also a fan. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. As the only two characters whose primary weapon is a fan, it wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility that the two characters may be linked in some way. Will Tingyun partake in the fruit of abundance and turn into Phanthelia? I guess we'll find out when the story continues. But going back, if you think about it, why would someone as articulate and careful as Tingyun openly express an interest in the fruit of abundance, and then freely share that information with someone as deeply involved as us? We actually have every opportunity to turn her in, and perhaps collect a hefty reward, unless she was trying to tell us something indirectly. There are a few options here, one being that Tingyun may actually be working with the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, a major antagonist faction in the Laofu arc. It's possible that she met with this group during her travels as the head of the Whistling Flames. If she was promised immortality, she may have been extremely curious as to why we aren't so concerned about our own mortality when we have an even shorter lifespan than her. Or the other possibility is that her message may have been a cry for help. Perhaps the promise of immortality is so tempting for her that she looked to ask a fellow mortal if we could decide to become immortal too, if given the opportunity. As such, her feelings and morals are probably very much conflicted. Or her betrayal could be brought about by the fact that perhaps a loved one of hers was killed as part of collateral damage from the Rainbow Arbiter's arrow attack upon the denizens of Abundance. Very reminiscent of one of Don Shu's motives in turning away from the path of the hunt. So yeah, this does not look good for the Aeon of the Hunt. Well, that was a lot to think about. I know, some of these theories may be way off base, but it wouldn't be a surprise if they do decide to expand on Tingyun's true motives. Do you think there's something more to this based on the story so far? Comment down below what you think. And if you want to see more of my Honkai Star Rail content in the future, consider subscribing to my channel to be notified of all my future videos. GG everyone. Peace!